Hey guys, how's it going? Muthurajah here, back with a new video lesson for you all. I will admit that is not the greatest demonstration, but I want to talk about getting the right sound for gospel bass playing. Okay, now for the longest time I always wondered, how do they have the sound where when they finger pick it's fairly dark but there's still clarity, but then they're able to immediately get into slap and it sounds really nice when they slap as well, as opposed to somebody like, let's say, Marcus Miller, who when he finger picks you can tell that sound is pretty much designed for slap more than a balance of the two, or for finger picking only. So this came to light even more when I had the good fortune of meeting and hanging and hearing one of the greatest gospel bass players of our time, Justin Raines. Last year in Dubai, I managed to catch him at soundcheck. Really cool guy, great player, and just a lovely person overall to talk with and hang with. And I noticed that same thing. He's finger picking, it's nice, thumping, nice low end, strong sound, clarity, definitely there. And then he slaps and it still sounds great. And I was just like, okay, so that hearing that live really clarified that it is possible to have that sound. Okay, so before I actually get to it, I just want to say that for me personally, to achieve the sound on a passive bass is easier, as I have no onboard preamp on the bass, so I'm able to maximize my amp, or if I use my multi effects, which I tend to use as a preamp actually for recordings and certain live situations, but it still just gives me nothing but a low end and a high end boost. I don't use it for anything else because the jazz bass inherently has so much of mids, so I don't try to crank the mids up at any point. Okay, so primarily most gospel bass players use both the pickups, neck and bridge, and if I use just the pickups right now without any tone on my bass, this is what it sounds like. Okay, which is okay, but it doesn't have the right clarity and tonal qualities for it to project in both sides, and it's not too clear. It can get a little muffled, especially if you put it in the context of a mix in a band. Okay, so what I started doing was I just started using my tone knob. I crank it up a bit and I pop a string. That seems fairly okay. And then I try to finger pick. Okay, this is nice. You can hear the string, you can hear some clarity when I finger pick. And you can hear the slap. I don't slap a whole lot, as you can see, and I've done a lesson on this before as well. I'm not the greatest at it, but lately I've been finding myself inclining towards playing slap here and there. For instance, if I take the bass line to PYT, let's see, I think we played in the key of G minor. Okay, so I started leaning towards playing the slap here and there in between, but I was struggling to get the right sound, especially live. The room can alter things a lot. I've been doing a residency through July where I've had to use more tone in certain situations as opposed to other nights, just because of the number of people present in the room, and how loud the gig actually gets, and all these things play a huge factor. So I figured I'd share this with you guys in case you are trying to figure out your sound. Now I would say that before you get into the whole preamp game, spend time with your actual instrument and your amp. Really try to milk it out. Preamps make sense down the road if you're like on tour and you're consistently playing a lot, because at that point it's not just about your amp and bass, but you need this consistent preamp sound which will work anywhere, and that's where you can have your Plex or Sansa amp or whatever that it is that you're eyeing, but keep that for later. All right, so that's it for this lesson. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 a.m. GST. I'm not sure what that is in PST or EST, but I'm going to put that in subtitles anyway. I'll be going live on YouTube, so come and hang and say hello, and let's hang out. Yeah, all right then, I'll see you guys in the shed. Peace.